Hey, what's good? This is Chuck Clark with Like a Villain. You're listening to Shutter 16 Magazine. Keep it bumping.
Okay, well, cool. Why don't we get started by having you kind of just tell us a little bit about how Like a Villain first got started?
Yeah, we all just knew each other, from the scene out here. It's just one of those things where, our old projects were no more, and then, we went and, we got some beers over at a brewery and, decided to give this thing a whirl, and now it's been like 2 years now, so pretty good. We're happy with it.
Okay, so you guys were all in kind of other bands and doing other things and kind of knew each other from that?
Yeah, like I'd done a feature on one of their songs, and our old bands played a lot of shows together and stuff, so we were always talking and always in communication, and then, when the time was right, the stars aligned, I guess.
Perfect. Now, you mentioned that, you kind of met that way, so tell me a little bit, what's the local music scene like where you're from?
Let's see, Southwest. Well, there's a good metal scene out here.
Okay.
People really dig it. They like it a lot. There's a lot of different styles out here. So you'll find your thrash bands and your death metal bands and your rapcore bands and your hardcore bands. So, it's nice. The shows do good. We get a few big shows out here. So, we get to see some cool stuff out here, and bands get some opportunities to, open up for some bigger bands and things like that. And Phoenix is right up the corner. So that's what, the fifth biggest city in the country. So, you go up there, you'll get a little bit more exposure too. So we got some access to some things out here too.
Cool. Now, what kind of music were you into before you started in a band and started kind of doing the music thing as more of a career path, and how has that kind of influenced what you guys are doing with Like a Villain?
Me personally, I listen to a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I like a lot of the East Coast, West Coast gangster rap, and then a lot of metal. I like a lot of punk music. I like a lot of soul music. So a little bit of everything.
Cool. Yeah, nice variety.
Yeah. Stuff that just kind of pulls on the heartstrings is just what I try to find. It doesn't matter what genre it is.
And what about the band as a whole? What's your approach to, say, writing a new song? Do you guys all get together, or does somebody usually come up with an idea and pass it around? How does that work?
Sometimes. The three of the guys are brothers, the two guitar players, and the drummer, Mark, Michael, and Daniel. They're all brothers, so they do a lot of the core of the writing.
Okay.
Usually Mark or Michael will email a song to someone, and then we'll talk about it, or we'll go get a writing session, and they'll just do their thing and adjust it. But they're pretty good. We trust everyone with the process, so everyone has the freedom to kind of bring it in, bring some riffs in. Sometimes we'll sit around and practice, but a lot of it's through email. Surprisingly, we kind of get it going and then practice the song.
Cool. Now, tell us a little bit about the song "The Dirt Beneath Our Feet Could Be Our Graves," and kind of what was the inspiration behind that one, because the video is pretty cool, and I know it's kind of a deeper subject matter on that one.
Oh yeah. Thank you. With that song, when the guy sent the track over and they had it all complete, it's more of like a humanity thing. It's not as much we spend a lot of time there's a invisible wall with the left and the right? They try to force you to choose one or the other, and it just kind of puts that into light, and it's more about we're all the same, we're all here doing the same purpose, doing the same thing. We're trying to eat, breathe, raise our kids, go smile and enjoy life. Everyone kind of deserves that opportunity, but there's politicians and lobbyists and bankers and all those types of guys that are out there that don't really quite want that to happen.
Now, that song was truly badass. I enjoyed listening to that one.
Oh, thank you.
Now, you guys have a new one coming out on Friday, a new video. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Searching. So that was another song that they sent over. It took me a little bit to write to it, but it's really heavy. The guys just I thought they nailed it as far as like the style of aggression that we want to go for. And that's it's like a touchier subject. It's about suicide, and I guess I say touchy for me because I dealt with suicide in my life. So my father killed himself when I was 5 years old. So
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
so just kind of it is what it is. I'm old as hell now, so that was a long time ago.
Right.
It was young. It was just a young age to you have to. Everyone has to, like, when their first encounter with like dealing with death, that type of thing. So it's just like you kind of learn from it, especially as the older you get. I'm sure you experienced something.
Sure.
Where it's back in the day, just our first travesty, right?
Yep.
So yeah, that's kind of like it's a slight undertone of what the song's about, but it's more like a first person perspective of like just suicidal thoughts, things like that.
Okay, now are you guys working on a new record kind of as a whole, or are we just having singles coming out for now, or what's the plan there?
We got some new songs. The plan's kind of for a single. So we're just kind of determining right now. We just actually finished writing another song. We have 4 new songs in the chamber.
Okay.
So we just got on with Joel from Blank. So we're just kind of seeing if we should just do some singles or just stock up on the EP, because we don't have that many actual like live performing songs. So we kind of need to up the vault a little bit.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we're at. But we're at least for sure planning on setting out one single. We're just not sure when that is.
Okay.
We do have another music video coming out after Searching, though, too.
Okay, cool. That'll help too. And I know you've got some big tour dates coming up because you're going out with Insane Clown Posse in May. So tell us a little bit about that tour and kind of how that came about.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're not fully on board. We're at least playing, our hometown here in
Okay.
Tucson. Joel's taking care of talking with the guys. So I would say we're in some form of a negotiation for like
Gotcha.
dates.
Okay, but you at least got one book solid that you know for sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's good there. So yeah, we're 100% solid there. And then the rest we're just trying to figure out the details on the other ones on. So hopefully we hear about that soon.
Awesome.
Working on a couple other shows, and then I think the plan is maybe the fall, late summers when we'll have an idea of when we'll be hitting some other cities and going out for a small tour.
Okay, cool. And what would you say is the one thing you would want people to know about Like a Villain? For somebody who's totally unfamiliar with your band.
If you just want to hear some fucking real shit and some, just some in-your-face music, then, we definitely offer that up. And if you just want a different perspective, on how to look at things, I always try to look at things through like a broader spectrum, more of like, most people say, there's one side, two sides, and the truth. I try to fill all those in there, man. There's so many ways to look at things, and we're all family out here. We just really want to bring you to our culture. Is really what we want to do, is bring you to our culture, and we love everyone, man. We're just out here trying to make a difference, and we're just average, we're average guys, trying to, spread the message of what we're trying to get across.
Awesome. So